Oh, oh my God. You look normal. What are you talking about?
I look what? Normal?
Yeah, you look great.
Oh, thank you. No, I said I was worried that it was gonna look weird on like Zoom. I
Yeah.
didn't say I looked weird. That would be funny.
Oh, I was like, what's wrong with you? Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
was like, wait, I need her back. I need her back. I looked at it's so good what we got, but like you have your blood coming out of your nose. It was from that last day of shooting.
I know. That was that yeah, insane. I did think to myself like, "Whoa, she's going to have to release this really far far away." But I'm glad we're able to do this now. What's it called?
Thank you. It's called Trailer Talk and Tea. So thank
Okay.
you for being on Trailer Talk and Tea, even
Oh,
though I
great.
mean, it almost looks like you're in a trailer.
I know. I'm in my movie room right now. I know it's been a nice 4 day week 3 day weekend for me. So I'm really and it's Jake's birthday on Wednesday.
Oh my God, how old is he getting? 16?
He yeah, 16. No, he's 23.
Wow.
And I know it's crazy. I remember being there for his 19th or 18th birthday. So it's cool that I know. And yesterday was May the 4th be with you, so we had to watch all the Star Wars movies. We know how he feels about Star Wars. It's very important to him.
How do you feel about Star Wars?
I love Star Wars. I actually love Star Wars. I genuinely hadn't obviously been like watching it through the eyes of like a fan is different to like just watching it. Like Jake watches me watch it. But I do love it. I do. For it.
What are we going to talk about? Well, I really, really wanted to, I wanted to talk about I want to talk about hair and makeup and clothes, obviously, like the transformation process. And I know you love that so much. Like you are really like completely willing to go, you know, not to your most beautiful self, but
Yes.
then you also, even on the red carpet, like you explore all of these different, I mean, kind of characters
Right.
almost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's I like as an actor I just naturally I love to be able to conform to different people and to different looks. I think for 11, I truly have always kind of, that's maybe the only character I've kind of left in the hands of you and hair and makeup and costume and the Duffers, like truly, like when you guys come up with an idea, I kind of just go with it because for me, it's like, I trust you guys as much as I trust myself. Whereas in other projects I do, I just trust myself or like, okay, well, I think this could be a really cool idea. But actually with Stranger Things, I've always kind of just let the reins go and kind of see what happens. Like in season 2 with my curly hair, I think now I'd probably be like, oh, but like then at that time it just felt like so it felt so right. And I think that I love to play with my characters. I think it's so much fun.
I mean, a lot of actresses are really scared of, maybe not being beautified. Even if they go into a character, it's kind of hard to make yourself less attractive than you actually are,
Mhm.
and kind of letting go of any kind of vanities that we all have, right? Like it's
Right.
very, how do you lean back and just trust that it's the better for the character to do that?
Yeah. I,
Because we kind of empathize sometimes, not your best assets.
right. I think I agree. I agree. I think for me anyway, growing up in the public eye, I left kind of my vanity and kind of my ego at the door when I shaved my hair off in season 1. Like for me, I didn't come in with much of a perspective because for me like shaving my hair off felt like a really big it felt like a really big moment just for me as a child, just to lose a certain aspect of your identity so early on in your childhood that kind of typically identifies you as what you are, right? Like having long hair for me was a really feminine feature that I kind of leaned into. I love to do my hair. I love to. So when I shaved my hair off, it kind of made me. it changed my whole perspective on what my actual look was and who I was. And I was young to be able to think those things, but I really did think those things. And I think from season one, I always, Winnie, no. Um, it always changed my perspective on season one. So I think from season one to obviously season five now, I am so down to do anything with my hair. I mean, I was willing to shave my hair off on season four. I really would have done it again. But obviously I was just coming off the bat. I was just about to go into Enola 2, and at that time we thought that I needed my own hair, so I couldn't do it, but I would have loved to have done it again.
Well, it's like a lot of people don't know that you guys have contracts. You already have new contracts. So something like shaving your hair off is not always up to you.
Right.
It's up to the studio. So it's not because
Yeah.
of your vanity we didn't do it.
No, exactly. No, I would have totally have done it again. And yeah, I love to play with my looks. I think it is, as an actor, really important to lean back and just let people trust, trust people and let people do what they do best. I think with Stranger Things, we always had such expert professionals, like, and for me, like, just loved the teams that were always formed. So I love Amy Paris. I love the costumes that she was like able to construct for me. I loved the hair for, obviously for me, Eleven's hair was like, it was a huge conversation. Like it was a character in itself. And she never wore makeup, so it was always kind of like just basically making her look like she doesn't really go spend too much time in the sun. But season three, I think, was the most fun I was able to play with Eleven's look, and really lean into more of like a feminine aspect of what she could potentially look like, because Max opens that door for her.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely your prettiest look we
Yeah.
have going on.
Yeah, but I'd say season five is my most badass look. I've never felt or seen 11 look so heroic.
Right. And I love how natural it is. There's sometimes on superhero movies where I just feel like it's very styled. There's a lot of like, and for me, it just kind of takes me out of it. Like I want a sweaty, messy, badass superhero girl.
Yeah,
Like kind of
yeah,
like them when we see guys on screen, like they get really messed up, right? And then the girls come in and it looks like they're right out of like a beauty trailer. And you're
yeah,
like, wait,
yeah.
how
But
are
I
you
also
still
think
looking so good?
that has a lot to do with like the lighting and and how we actually like light the actors in the show. I feel like we obviously just naturally have more of a darker show and in tone and in color, and I think that like, yeah, I think that when you put me in sets that are naturally quite dark or have like, we have a lot of red strobe lights for like, the upside down and things. When you see flyaways and you see the shadows of the red light, it just feels so cinematic. Like it feels like you're watching something, like you're watching a movie on a big screen. So it, yeah, and I obviously give it up like to the Duffers and Shaw, because it's like you are making 8 movies. Like they're not episodes. When it comes to Stranger Things, when we complete an episode, it feels like we've completed a movie, because it's the storytelling is so, it's so, it's thorough. It's a lot of script, it's a lot of story, it's a lot of characters. And yeah, I definitely felt that. I can only imagine that's how you guys felt in head of departments.
Yeah, I mean, for some things it's easier, and for other things it's harder.
Yeah,
I mean, there's one big character design on top of the show, but then it is like a lot of breakdowns. Like, how do we jump around in an 8-hour show?
yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
without you guys also feeling, like you have to come back for in the trailer for like 3 hours to
Right.
get
I
ready for.
I completely agree. I think it's right. It's like I don't think a lot of people know that when we shoot, we try to shoot in chronological, but sometimes we can't. And so when you're going to episode 6 really early on in production, you have to break down the character and see where she's been and how she gets there before it actually happens. And so maybe a hair, a piece of hair maybe had fallen in a stunt in episode 3 that you wouldn't know, but in episode 6, what, she puts that behind her ear? Does she pin that back? How does that, does she redo it entirely? Like that conversation, people don't realize, but it has to be had. And I remember having those conversations a lot, being like, well, how would you move your head? Would a piece fall down? Would this come loose? So yeah, people don't realize those conversations, but they are really important.
From all of your looks, your favorite look, is it the mall look in episode 3?
I love that look. I actually do love that look. For me, I felt like so I felt so cool, and finally I think it was hard for me because the kids always had their own identity in the show. So like, you have Dustin with his hat and with his like backpack, and he was always kind of wearing like some kind of hoodie or sweater. You have Mike, who's always kind of wearing his button downs and his like swoop hair, and like you have Caleb, who actually had such cool character moments in this, like in terms of iconic looks. um I and even Sadie. And then when it came to me, it was like, well, she's always she doesn't have a look. She's literally just moving toward
You're morphing.
I'm morphing into who people want me to be. So in season 1, it was like what Papa wanted me to be. In season 2, it's what Hopper wants me to be. In season 3, it's me trying to find it, but Mike is kind of influencing the way I am. And then,
Well, again, you're trying to make other people happy, right? Even in 3, you're trying to
yeah,
win over the boy and the girl.
yeah. And then in season 4, it's conforming to my environment, which is Lenora Hills. And she doesn't really know, she gets a haircut from Joyce. She doesn't really know what her style is. And so I think that it was nice to be able to have a bit of a look in season 3 in terms of her bob, haircut, and she kind of
More relatable look.
yeah,
Because I mean, I think you have a lot of looks. I don't know if you relate to the look of when you meet your sister. It's a pretty angry look, you
it is
know.
an angry look. It's a really angry look. To be honest with you, I love that look. I
It's
think
pretty.
it's exactly what she needed in a character, like in
Right.
that moment in the story. I think she needed to harness a lot of emotions, and to be able to harness that, you kind of have to become that. And so I think she had to physically um harness anger in order to use her powers. That is what Carly was teaching her. She succeeds, it works. So I think that's like a reflection on the look. It was more of a darker character look, which I love. I love the
But I
eyeliner.
think when
Much.
we're talking about this, we're basically talking about being able to relate, right? So, because you've been so many different girls in 11, you explored so many different personalities. You must also, I think you have a much larger fan base. Like, I think different people can relate to different looks.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much the season 2 look, maybe, but
I think a lot of people relate to the season 2 look.
it's
No,
my
I know
favorite,
Jake
maybe.
loves the season 2 look. I you know what I think that what I love so much about this show, and what makes me so proud to be a part of it, is that this show came at a time when, Netflix was just kind of up and coming, and our show was on a platform that people had just downloaded on their phones or computers or TV. And then our show came out, and people watched the show, binge watched it, and then related to each character. Everyone is so different in our show. There's such a dichotomy of characters, of personalities, of looks. And I love the kind of characters the Duffers have put on screen for people to feel seen and heard and beautiful, and relate to them. And I think 11 shows a variety of different people, I think, from season 1 to season 5. But, I love when people, I just met a little boy the other day who watches the show, and I go, "Who's your favorite?" He goes, "Well, I love Steve, but I also love Hopper." And the aspects of Steve, and the aspects of Hopper that he loves, I love that he feels he's able to harness that and kind of become that. And that's what our show has done for so many people, and I'm so proud to be a part of a show that kind of represents who people are and the different kinds of people can be.
I mean, I love making glossy movies, and maybe that's the wrong word for it, but we all went into this. I started this, I started in fashion, so you're doing a lot of sleek things, and so it's been an interesting journey to kind of, I would say every single character, even if they're good looking in Stranger Things, they're still they have a real aspect to it.
Like lived in.
It's very lived in.
Yeah, yeah.
So that has been kind of crazy. And but you, I mean, for me, it's a easy, it's easy to say I would like to design it like this. It's a completely different thing to try to be like, hey, what do you guys think about going really, really gritty on it?
I know. And I think what's so cool is like everyone is so down. Like on our show, everyone is so excited and dedicated to the characters. Like as much as you and the Duffers and the rest of the head of departments know the characters, like no one knows Steve better than Joe. No one knows, Mike better than Finn. And you have always allowed us to collaborate and pour ideas into the mix and feel like, for me anyway, so heard and seen in terms of like, well, I mean, I want my hair up for this fight because it's super important and I need to show my face. And it's just like it feels so great to be able to pour ideas together and kind of formulate something brilliant. And I think, yeah, I think we were really lucky. All the actors on the show were so excited to just, yeah, get gritty, get messy and dirty, and
Well,
you know
talking about messy,
yeah.
can we, I don't even know how to say this. Can we talk about when I was pregnant?
Yes. Well, I think people don't. So, okay. So for people listening or watching, so Sarah shaved my hair off when I was 10, but then Sarah became one of the most important people in my life, and I I genuinely have never formed such a relationship with anyone in the industry, and so similar to my family. Like for me, like I tell her everything, so I also know everything about her. So when I knew she was obviously trying for a baby, I like felt like I was like knew she was pregnant. And I have a thing about this, but I was so excited for her to get pregnant. And um I remember when you were like, I think I'm pregnant, and we got a pregnancy test and it was positive with Pippa.
And we
And
were in one of those like, what are they even called? Like
gross bathrooms. They're like
the-
Winnebagos. They were so gross. And people were like, what is all that screaming in there? And I was screaming because I was so excited to become a fairy godmother. And yeah, Pippa's like my spirit animal. She is my kindred spirit. We're very similar. And to think that you were pregnant for all of that is insane. I like, you would never say this about yourself, but the amount of times you were carrying a show of 20, 30 lead actors, and obviously you have an amazing team behind you, Bryn and Kat, were brilliant. But like to design a show pregnant and you're going into the bathroom and throwing up and then coming back in to like check if approve a look, it was insane. I just remember like you would come onto set and smell something weird and then be like, I have to go, the smell is too weird.
remember that set? We have a lot of like smoke and stuff,
Atmos.
mysterious atmosphere. And like, remember when Modine was just like, get out of here. I was like next, like hanging out with you guys, and I was like, and he was like, I don't, you gotta go. You gotta go.
I know, in the lab there was so much Atmos and you were trying so hard to stay in there, and we were like, get out, like you would not want to leave.
It was
But
a really important scene, I remember. And I was like, I want to be there with you guys. I want to like support, not, we had other hairstylists, obviously, that was taking care of the Nikki Naki to make sure everything looked perfect. But sometimes I just emotionally want to be there. Like,
yeah,
I want to
you've
like,
been there throughout. you've literally been here for 10 years. So to see a huge scene like that, it's like you have the right to want to go and see that. You've dedicated, you know, a fraction of your life to watching and being part of creating a show. So yeah, your natural instinct is to want to be and watch there. Like emotionally, you're connected to it forever, and so am I. So even for those moments where I'm not in a scene, I do naturally just kind of want to sit there and watch it because it's like, you know, it's a part of us, and it will forever be a part of us.
It's also like how, you know, it's like it's your friends, right? I mean, I want to like hold you. Like there's so you don't even understand. Like I had this really protective thing, even when you became a woman. Like I still like almost like a mother where you kind of still need your kids to sit on your lap once in a while, even though you don't fit and you
Uh,
don't.
I didn't fit. On season 5, I sat in your lap and you were like, what? You are a full grown woman. Whereas when I was 10, I felt there's so many, I think it's important to remember that I have my parents who are amazing and so protective of me. But when you're on set, it's good to form those relationships with people that are also looking out for you. And my parents were also really, obviously they were there on set, but like it's good to be able to form relationships with people that protect you. The Duffers were always protective of me, but to have a woman on set that was uber protective of me and kind of always looked out for me and would be like, nope, she's not doing that, or yep, she's gonna do that, or like, it was so unbelievable. I wish everyone had that experience because I really truly had the best one. So I was very lucky to have you.
Well, I love your parents, you know. I'm a parent too. And sometimes it is so lovely when there's other people in this world that also love your children because you can't be anywhere 100% of the time. So if you just know that there's somebody else in the world that
I
love your
remember
kid.
I used to get like used to get sad or like upset, or whatever, and my mom would be like, "Is Sarah there? Just go see Sarah." And I was like, "Yeah," because she'd be like, "Okay, I'm coming. I'll be there in 30 minutes. Go see
Right.
Sarah in the meantime," and she'll listen. And yeah, it's like so. It was so nice to. It's so nice to have that, and especially again a woman, like everyone. It was so nice to be able to go like, "Do you ever feel this way?" And it was always like that, you know.
But then you could also see it was weird because you kind of knew I was in love before Matt knew it.
Well, I think, I've always been so close to the Duffer Brothers for my whole life. I feel like I infiltrated in their life. Like, there's actors that just kind of have the natural actor director relationship, but for me, I was like so young and I admired them so much and like loved being around them, and their energy was just so warm and welcoming that I was really attached to them. So when I started hanging out with them, and by hanging out I just mean like basically bothering them at Video Village, and then hanging out with you, I was really, really smart when I was little, and I just like
You were.
put the pieces together, which is crazy. I was like, they're in love. And I remember, I think I just outwardly asked you. I was like, "Are you dating Matt?" And my mom was like, "Do not ask her that. Like, you do." And I was like, "I have to know." And I knew Matt would never tell me, and I knew you would.
Yeah, I told you.
You
Because
told me
I'm
in
really
mistake.
bad with holding a secret. And you were, I mean, for being it, you were actually really good with a secret.
Yeah, I didn't tell anyone.
You're holding secrets pretty well for somebody that's very chatty.
I am such a chatty. I am a chatty Cathy. I love gossip, but I knew that was too important for me not to say anything. So I remember at the rap party when you guys like kind of walked in together, and everyone was like, the kids were like, "Are they dating?" And I finally was able to be like, "Yes, they are." It was really exciting for me to be able to like let that news out. But yeah, for a year I kept that a secret.
But
And
then
I
I got,
remember I was a
then,
little jealous. I remember feeling a little like jealous, and like I genuinely felt like I was very upset that he had taken you from me. And then I realized that you hadn't gone anywhere. But like I remember feeling like, what is this going to do? Like, what is he going to take
right.
her away from me? I'm going to kill him.
Is it going to change anything? But then I kind of went through the same with you when you
Yeah.
fell in love. I got to see all of that with Jake.
Oh my God. You were there from the day we started talking. I remember coming in and telling you about him, and like think I like him and I don't think he likes me back. You were there for, yeah, I mean, you've been there for multiple of my boyfriends, but
Well, this one was obviously special. We
yeah,
don't, I mean, scratch the other ones, you know. Those were good learning curves to get to the right one.
yes, exactly. I think, yeah, I think it's so funny because for me, when I watch season one, season two, like it just reminds me of the periods of time in my life. Like for me, season two is like, I didn't know, I didn't, I didn't understand why boys didn't like me at that time. I was like, why do boys not like me? And all the boys were finally kind of talking about girls and things like that. And for me, I was like, I I don't know who likes me
They're
and
probably talking about 20-year-old girls.
well, I was just like maybe like I don't know. I and then I had and then I started to have crushes, and you were the only person I would talk about that to on set. Be like, I have a crush on this one and this one and this boy, and then sooner, you know, in season three is when I think I had my first boyfriend, and to watch that back, you
Mhm.
know, I it reminds me of all the parts of my life that I was so obsessed with either a boy or a certain hairstyle or a certain style of my
Oh
clothes.
my God. Can we talk about all the hairstyles you had under your wigs sometimes? When you would just come in and suddenly it would be like blonde. Like in the end, I was like, let's wig her, let's wig her. I think even this season, I never told you, but I got wigs made this season because I was just,
No,
yeah, because I know you. You get like an urge and then suddenly you're blonde.
I know. I you know what I think? I think like for so long, and you know this, like the studio owns my hair. Like Netflix knows they have my hair. So I'm not allowed to change hairstyles very often. And so
Right.
when I can or get the urge to, I usually just do it. I I always get anxiety about like, oh my God, like how is that gonna work for filming? But like I'm always like, we'll figure it out. Like it'll work somehow. So I remember going jet black. I remember you dyed my hair completely black once.
I
Uh,
did?
yeah, you did once. You put a toner on it for like actually maybe an hour, and I went jet black and then cut my hair into like a bob. That was at the end of season three, and you were while
Oh, yeah.
you were dyeing my hair jet black, and you were dyeing Finn's hair red,
Purple.
purple. Okay, there we go. We sat next to each other. It was the end of filming, and we were like, let's dye our hair.
Yeah.
But the only thing I guess on this season was just like I knew I was getting married. So I was like, and a week before my wedding, I was filming like some of the most important scenes in the show. And I was like, I need long hair for my wedding. And so I put these extensions in and I knew what I wanted. And poor Kat, who I just had to fit it in a bun that made it look like it was this small, but actually it was an actual like so much hair.
You
Um,
had hair all the way down to your back.
I did. But I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I mean the way that they were able to like construct it and braid it and like it was insane. But like truly, yeah, I think and that happened with a lot of actors on the show. I know that many actors came in and was like, this is I just cut my hair, I just did this.
I know. I mean, that's the thing when you're shooting for so long. I mean, people have life things, you know, and you gotta, in the end of the day, I don't think any of our viewers are gonna watch this, but you know, Kat just had a big challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I think that that's what's so great. It's like you guys were never got mad or like genuine like you all understood that like we're kids, like we're still figuring out our own look, and so for the last 10 years we've given up ourselves and our identity for a show, but actually we never had to compromise it. Like we were always allowed to play and to kind of do our own thing. Obviously it's nice now that like if I can just go red I can, but like
Right.
you know there's a certain aspect of it that I will miss. Like I remember the second we wrapped just like being like nobody's texting me my cool time or my sides or you know when I'm available to do something, and it's just like it goes from everyone caring about you to no one. And it sounds like sad, but it's just true. Like nobody ever, that's it, that aspect of
Right.
your life is done and you're on to the next thing, and so you have to relearn how to live a lot of the time. So it's gonna be new for me. It's a very new chapter of my life that I have to kind of relearn because so much of it has been Stranger Things.
Well, all of us, I think, that's why I'm still like, let's talk more about it.
Yeah, I know exactly. I'm here to talk more about it. I'm happy to. And the
So,
best part of my life.
Millie, let me ask you a couple of fun questions.
Yeah.
Like, which character on Stranger Things would you play if you were not 11?
I was not 11. Love I love Hopper. I love Hopper.
Yeah.
If I yeah, I would probably I love Hopper and I think Joyce, I love Joyce. I think Joyce's character is just it's so fun. Winona plays it. I mean, I could never do it as well as Winona. She brought so much of her comedy. She's naturally quite a funny person. Like she's very very witty and so much of those Joyce kind of the way she delivers stuff is just it makes me hysterical. She's one of my favorite characters. Her and Hopper, I love. I wish I could be them in a second.
Okay, if you had to wear somebody else's makeup from the show on the red carpet, who would you choose?
Oh my gosh, that's such a funny question. You know what? I love Priya's. Like I love her. Like she always is wearing kind of a fun eye. So I would go for Priya.
With the one with the stickers?
Yeah, yeah, I love the stickers. Oh my gosh, I would wear that in a second. Yeah, no, I love Priya because I love the color that she brings to the
Yeah,
show. I feel
yeah.
like, so much of our outfits can be like, darker color palettes in terms of like burgundies and browns, and 11 wears a lot of like plaid. And so I love when like Erica comes on screen, it's like a purple sweatpant outfit, and I'm here for it always. I
You're
love it.
ready for it.
Yeah.
What hairdo is your favorite on Stranger Things?
I just think there's nothing like Steve Harrington. Like just like that natural suave, like it looks effortless. It looks like an effortless hat. It looks like it, and it should just now become like a helmet for people to be able to put on because it's like such a great hairstyle. I also I love Sadie's hair. Like if I could have Sadie's hair in 2 seconds, I would want that
That's
so.
just Sadie's hair, though, isn't
I
it?
know it just sucks. Like
Good.
I hate that she has that good hair. And yeah, I absolutely love
Yeah.
her.
What do you think about what I did to Will for 10 years?
Well,
You feel sorry for him? Like, what's your feelings there? You think
I
we did
think
the
that
right
like
thing?
it was iconic. Like people like genuinely my parents and like my parents' friends, like they watched that and they're like, "Yes, that was me." Like my dad had a bowl put over his head and it's nostalgic and it's true and it's authentic to the story and the period. So, I'm here for it. Do I feel bad that Noah had to like kind of have that for 10 years? Yes, he was unfortunately at the end of that, but ultimately created such an iconic look and character, so it paid off, I think.
Well, he's a good sport,
He he is. He really is. I love
How's
that
all your
like she
puppies?
put a bang on him, and when there would be wind, it would just
I,
fly up.
I think, I mean, it's in season 4. I think I started feeling like, oh, poor guy.
We
Like,
got to
but
season four.
we had to keep going. Like it was
Yeah.
not in the scripts.
No.
So I'm
No.
like, no, not for you yet. Not you yet.
Oh my god, I know. Oh, poor guy.
What is your favorite scene you have ever filmed for Stranger Things?
Oh my gosh. That's so hard. Obviously not in season 5 because I my answer would technically be a scene in season 5, but from the last 4 seasons, I loved doing the montage with Sadie in the mall. Like it was so much fun as like a girl who like just loves dressing up and doing all the things. It was just like it was and doing it with like my best friend as well. Like I was just playing Madonna music and actually just having fun. That and I guess like I love doing the scene where Mike and 11 have their first like kind of fight in California where I just keep screaming like love Mike, love Mike, love Mike. And he's not saying love you and it just I like seeing 11 that I don't know, put in such a vulnerable but like human state. Like it's such a human emotion to feel like you want more, or, like want a boy to love you and like I think that was human I played 11. So it felt at a farm, but really nice. And yeah, but my favorite scene would be in season 5, so I can't say.
And what is your favorite season?
Oh my God.
What tough questions.
Season 5 would be my favorite because I feel like ultimately it's like the best storytelling I've ever been a part of. So
I love that. And what is your favorite prop that you
prop,
ever had? They have props.
she like never actually had props like because our superpowers, but I guess I guess I loved my little helmet that I used to have to wear like when I was in
Um,
lab. Like I thought that was really cool. It was
what
kind of a pain in the ass to put on every day though, but I did like it.
what did you get to keep from Stranger Things?
I got to keep Eleven's pink dress and
You
11.
got the dress?
I got the dress.
Did it come with the socks or?
It came with the socks too. It came with the socks, and I kept Eleven's. I kept my all of my outfits from the last season. So season 5, I kept what she wears. And she wears really cool shoes this season as well. So I got to keep those. And then yeah, the pink dress though was like the most important thing. And I did not think they were gonna give it to me. And I literally sobbed when I went home and I opened it and I saw it. It felt like a I don't know, like a piece of my childhood is now with me forever. So
They framed it for you,
they
right?
framed it. They framed it. They framed it for me. And oh my gosh, my reaction, Jake literally, I was on the floor crying, holding it. I was so excited.
Where
So
is it? Where is it hanging in your house?
it's in my movie room actually.
Oh, it
It's like
is.
I have like a wall of Stranger Things. So like I have like old pictures that of behind the scenes things that the Duffers gave me, and then I have yeah, I have it right in the middle, and it's like yeah, it's really cool. People like don't realize it, and then I'm like, yeah, like that's the real one. It feels like a Stranger Things museum because my my movie room in my other house is red and black, so it's giving Stranger Things.
Where are you right now?
I'm in London filming Enola Holmes 3. Yes, and it's been a load of fun having
What
been.
is your favorite red carpet dress you have ever worn? Can you even answer that?
I oh my goodness. I loved the electric state stuff that I just did a tour
The,
for it.
the gold one that I saw?
Yes, that one was so fun. I love that one.
That, I mean, how heavy was that?
Really heavy. Yeah, most of the outfits I wore, except the one the Gwyneth Paltrow. So I was able to wear Gwyneth Paltrow's dress for the Madrid premiere, and that was like I was wearing nothing. It was so light and beautiful, and like oh my gosh, I didn't even want to drink water in it though, so I literally just walked, posed, and then was like take it off and send it back to her. But yeah, I think that was the most amazing thing I've ever worn.
Trying to not blow or seam.
I know, I was like ugh, just did not breathe. Yeah.
Did it just fit you? Did you have to
Yes.
alter it? No
No,
altering.
I didn't. No, I didn't alter it. I just put it on, and then obviously she's a lot taller than me, so I just put on really big heels.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, how does that work? I mean,
Yeah.
she's like this like
Oh my.
elf,
Oh my.
right? Like,
Oh, she's beautiful. And yeah, but she's I'm like 5'4", so I just put on really big heels and
she
just
was cool with you. She just sent it to
oh my
you.
gosh, yeah, she was so sweet and so accommodating and excited. Like it's so nice to be able to have women like that that are so um I don't know, proud and want to be a part of your journey and supportive. I know that she's a mom, and it's such a nice feeling to feel like looked out for, And so she was so accommodating and sweet, and just was like, yeah, like I think this one would look great. And I was like, I would literally wear a t-shirt you put on, so I don't mind. But for her to be so generous with that was so kind and sweet.
What's your favorite hair color that you have had?
You know what? In I loved my hair color in Damsel. I had like worn a red long wig, and I really enjoyed that. I think I will go red at some point in my life.
Oh, it's really hard. As a
Really?
hair color, keeps washing out. So it's
Yeah.
like looks really beautiful and you wash it 2 times and it starts like
Yeah. See,
changing.
right now my hair is kind of going red. You see
Yeah,
it? It
that
is.
is that's a good red for you. I like
Yeah.
that. I like the
There's,
soft, I like when it
there's
has a little softness.
there's bleach blonde under it. Like I was just
Yeah,
bleach blonde and I just toned it. So it's probably been 4 or 5 weeks since the toner, and so it's now just starting to lift. And so then I'm gonna need another toner because the blonde underneath is being like, "Ugh, I want to come out."
right. In that fun yellow way.
I know, in that fun, scary yellow way, you know.
We're still here waiting for you.
So terrified to see it. Oh gosh.
Red lipstick. Yes or no?
Yeah, I like red lipstick. I think you know who I think looks amazing in red lipstick? Sadie.
Yeah.
When she
Yes.
wears red
Yes.
lip, I'm just like,
Yeah.
go off.
Did you see that last week that just came in with the
Yes, I did.
sunglasses
Yeah.
and
And I
the
was like, okay, slay. Like, you look amazing. So she just suits a red lip. I
yeah.
like red lip. I just like, I have, I don't know. I think it's just a me thing, but I feel like I have really kind of, I do have naturally quite big lips. And when I put lipstick on, sometimes it can look a little much on me. So I'm always just like more of like, I play like more nude colors, but she looks amazing in a red lip. So
I personally, I think you look really great with this smoky eye and the nude lips.
thank
I
you.
think you're like the opposite. You know what I mean? Where she's great with a nude eye and those red lips.
Yeah. Well, I think also with her red hair, it's just like it all just ties in like so well. I think for me, like naturally, just like brunettes, which is why I think people were so jarred when I went blonde because it's just like you have to then readjust your makeup and everything. You have to think about like what now you look like. And so with brunette, people are one just very familiar and like with my brunette hairstyle, but when I was blonde, I had to really tone it down in terms of my hair and makeup and just kind of figure out what worked with the blonde as opposed to the brunette. But
Blonde is just really tricky. I mean, also because I feel like for me, when I've been really blonde in my life, like when it's harder to do those eyes, right? And you normally do like a really good eye, but
mhm,
sometimes the eye with the blonde,
yeah,
it's just
it's so
more
un
shocking on camera
yeah,
somehow.
yeah, exactly. That's
I
it.
mean, I like that too. It's just a different, it's more like a more is more look.
Exactly.
Like,
It's very
rah,
drama. It's definitely growl. It's like, okay, go off, but like whereas my brunette people are just more
it's
like
more old Pamela versus new Pamela.
right. It's true. It's very true.
Right. Like, which is also fun. There's nothing wrong with a Baywatch moment.
No,
Everybody deserves one.
I'm so here for that. But I had my moment, and now I'm back to being a brunette, and now I'm back to literally doing nothing with my hair and makeup, and it's been really nice. So my
I
skin,
know you are very natural on an everyday basis, but then you really like to play when you
I
play.
really do. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like I just don't like to wear makeup. I don't wear makeup every day, and when I'm going out to dinner, I usually don't wear makeup. But when I'm going to a red carpet, I'm like, just do everything because it's so much fun. Like it's just the
You
one thing.
should.
Why not?
You're young. You look fantastic no matter what you do.
Thank you.
This
Thank
is the time. Do you miss your animals?
so much. I have my two dogs here, but I have basically eight back home that are waiting for me, and they're all sick right now. They've all like had a bug, so they're all passing it back and forth to each other. There's an aspect of me that's like, yeah, I'm so glad I'm not there for that, but also like I am missing them so much. But I'll be home soon, and I cannot wait.
What about the ponies?
The ponies, my donkey's pregnant.
No.
Yes,
Wait, sorry.
she's
How?
pregnant, and she's gonna give birth in like a month.
Oh my goodness, more
I know.
pony babies.
I'm so excited. I am so excited. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet, but boy, am I
Oh my
ready.
God, Pippa's gonna freak
She's
out.
gonna freak.
She still talks about that birthday party. I'm like,
I,
seriously. She's like, can I have a birthday tomorrow? Millie will throw me a party. This time it's gonna be yellow, she says. She said, and she's like really
Ella,
trying to
she is. She's like. We have to have like. Yeah. That child is the color yellow. Like she's just so like
yellow.
radiant and sunny and. Oh, I love that kid so much.
Thank you for being a Trailer Talking team, Millie. You are my first guest because you
I'm very
are,
happy to be your first. I love you, and I'm so excited we were able to do this and that you're doing this to give fans an insight on what it means to be a part of Stranger Things.
thank you, Lo.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.